Yo. A few months ago, I uploaded this video where I talked about how I started my coding journey and switched my major from business to computer science. I mentioned there were a few factors I considered, so I'll go over those. Now, even though I transferred to CS, this could apply to any other majors. Obviously, I don't know your exact situation, but I do think we can all learn from each other, so I'll tell you a bit about myself. I was actually an arts major before even going into business. I was doing acting and broadcasting stuff. Yeah, I really went around the block when switching majors. But that's a story for a different time. What I'm trying to say is I've tried the arts, social science, business, and finally computer science and engineering, so I do feel like I have a rounded perspective. I always was someone who chased my passion because I felt like career is very important. The way I thought about it was, since you spend most of your week working, well, if you don't like your work, then you might end up miserable for a lot of your life. That's scary to me, and I know not everyone has a privilege like me to just switch around majors and try them out, especially if you live in the United States where the education is extremely affordable. So you should definitely do your research about the possible career paths and their pros and cons. For example, in every industry there's at least one narcissist who's making videos about their careers, like myself. And although they may be glorified, you can still see a glimpse of what the lifestyle looks like in these careers. But before you do any of this, I suggest you try to understand your own values first, and this really was the game changer for me personally. I had to be honest with myself about what I valued and the kind of lifestyle I wanted to live. There are multiple factors that goes into this. No one goes into computer science expecting a bunch of hot girls and guys in their classes. Let's be honest, I'm the only good looking guy here, alright? Let's make that clear. Money. You want money, I want money, your mom wants money, and your wife wants your money. This is often the first incentive, which works because studying CS does open the door for essentially the highest paying jobs you can ever get out of school. But money is not the only factor, and you can count me all you want, but this is actually not the most important thing for me. I like innovation, I like creating, I like technology. Maybe it's because of my ADHD, I don't know, but I like when things change. It's exciting, there's always something new, and you can even be that person creating that something new, like a startup, for example. But not everyone is like this. Some people are extremely scared of change and learning new things, and if you're someone like that going into this field, you'll need to learn to embrace it. Otherwise, you probably won't have a good time. I would also say that the work-life balance in software is pretty good compared to other high-end careers. Because software devs are so high in demand, there's a variety of jobs out there for us. For example, you can work at Amazon AWS for 60 hours a week, 20 hours a week at Google, or 30 hours a week at some random boomer company, or 13 hours a day as a content creator. Pog. Now, obviously, you still have to work hard to get into these companies, but if you don't want to do that, you still have the option to work for smaller companies and you still get paid relatively well. So flexibility is the important factor here. Do keep in mind, I'm mostly referring to the North American industry. Personally, I like attention, just like every other content creator. I even consider making YouTube videos as a factor when I made the switch, because content about coding and tech generally does much better than any other careers, and it's probably because we're all degenerates and spend all our time on the internet. But yeah, I wanted to become a content creator since I was 8 years old, so this was a pretty important factor for me. And if you don't care about creating content, think about this factor as prestige. Software engineer is a cool ass title to have, and it's only going to become cooler as more people start to understand what it actually means. We fix buttons, but we also create software that is brainwashing the next generation of humanity. So also use prestige as a motivator, but don't let the ego get to your head. I also felt like switching to CS would allow me to unlock my full potential. Yes, it sounds corny, but that's what I actually believed. I even literally wrote that down when I made my pros and cons list. Now that I'm nearing the end of my degree, I actually do think that was true. I never thought about myself as someone who could do hard sciences or engineering. I grew up not giving a single shit about my math or science classes. I was not doing well in them because I thought I was going to become a famous YouTuber or a professional League of Legends player by the end of high school, which definitely was not the case. I was stupid as hell. I had to learn to appreciate math, science, and engineering when I started my computer science degree. And when I said in my other video that I had forgot my math, that wasn't a joke. I literally didn't remember how to do divisions because I had not done math for like 2 years. When I started my calculus 2 and linear algebra classes, I had to restudy everything that came before. The videos from Khan Academy really saved me back then. And although I want to inspire people to do what they want and succeed, it's definitely not an easy path. I'm a very passionate person, so when I discover something I like, I tend to go really hard and deep. For the first year or two of my CS degree, I spent every waking hour either studying or researching about the field. I even had a girlfriend at the time, and yeah, she broke up with me. I don't blame her because I just could not balance my work and life. I'm 23 years old and I'll be graduating at 24. That's considered late for some people or early for others. And if I could go back, I would not change a thing. A few years of difference now is nothing compared to the lifetime I still have in the career I chose, which I think is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Not only was I able to find find a good traditional career path that I think is interesting, which I thought it was impossible, it's also helping me build my childhood dream. Now, keep in mind, even though this video is titled about changing majors, just because you're about to graduate or have already graduated in something you don't like, doesn't mean you have to be stuck in a career direction for the rest of your life. I think most of what I said here still applies. You should still try to find what you really want to do if you have the resources for it. You might have noticed in this video that I'm really talking more about the why instead of the how, because I believe if you truly know why you want something, such as transitioning into software or something else, then you would have very little hesitation, especially as you research more about the field. And then as for the how to do it, well, there's already infinite resources out there for you. You can check out Quora, Reddit, Blind, CS50, all the coding tutorials on YouTube. You don't really need me to tell you the how. But hey, who knows? If I get fired from my job, I might need to start selling some courses. So yeah, if you're considering switching academic or career paths, make sure you make a list of pros and cons. Write it down. Be brutally honest with yourself. I hope this helped. If it did, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, leave me a hello world in the comments. And this is not a new room, by the way. It's the same room. I just switched it around. I feel like it looks better this way. What do you guys think? Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Follow my Twitter. And Happy New Year, by the way. It's the year of the tiger, and that's actually my year. Pop!